Hello and very warm welcome to RAFLIMTS. This is furrukh.hussain. In this hands-on video tutorial, we will learn how we can install DSpace 7 front end on Ubuntu LTS, and then we will connect that front end with the backend demo site. So look, there are three methods to install DSpace 7. One is to install via Docker file that we have already did in one of the last videos. So if you haven't watched that video, must watch it. DSpace 7 via Docker file is one of the most easiest and recommended way out. The second method is to install DSpace 7 frontend on your local machine or your server and then connect that front end with the demo site. So, backend demo site. So that's we are going to do today, inshallah. And the last method is to install DSpace frontend and backend on your local machine or your server and then connect them together. It's not necessary or it's not important that you will install front end and back end on the same machine, but you can do this. So let us start with this video. Okay, to install DSpace front end, what we need to do, we need to open our terminal, the very first thing by pressing Ctrl Alt T, and we need to activate the admin mode by writing sudo su and the password of our Ubuntu system, and then we need to update by writing this command. Oh, it's not update, and then upgrade. After the update and upgrade, I have write down some instructions here. So what we need to do, we need to install Node. Node is actually Java script runtime programming for server-side development. So, and you can read here. So the Node.js is a JavaScript runtime for server-side programming. It allows developers to create scalable backend functionality using JavaScript, a language, Java. Uh, Many are already familiar with from borrowers based web development. So it's actually for web development and the scalable front end. So we will work on this. To work on this, to install node.js, one of the recommended way out is to install through nvm. Nvm is actually Node version manager, so you can manage different versions of Node within same system. So you need to have from the git website. So what you need to do, you need to check the current release of Node NVM actually. So it's 0.38.0. So, and then you need to use this command. It's with the version change. Whatever the version you are using, you need to change here. So let me copy this command and paste here. Okay. After this, second command, and we can check the list of available LTS. We need to install Node LTS. Not for LTS system. See, the last one is this one. 14.18.0. If this command, this one, nvm list remote may not work on your system, you need to close your terminal and then reopen that, and then it will work. And that's actually for very first time. See what version we need to install. The last one, LTS. It's 14.18. So let me change my version here. 14.18. So nvm install the version name and paste here. Oh, I'm sorry, I repeat the same command actually. One 1.8.0. So now it will take few time to install Node.js, and let us wait for that. So it's actually copying the sources, and now okay, done. Okay, so we can check the version. It's the 14.18. It's 14.18.0. So we have this. Okay, and then we need to install yarn. Yarn is fast, reliable, secure dependency management. So it's actually dependency manager. Yarn is used to install all dependencies for a project. So we need to have this command to add the yarn stable version repository. This is actually the key. So we will add the key here. So it say OK, and then we will install the stable version of yarn. I mean, we are adding this and it has added. And now when we update and upgrade, I mean install, so first we actually update by using this command, and then we will upgrade, then we will install the yarn actually. See, or we can use separately like this. So first we update, and then install yarn. So it's 36.1 MB. Yes. So it might take few time. Let me pause my video here and then come back when it may complete the process. completed. Now we can check the version here, or see it's 1.22.15. If there's a version older than 1.10, then you need to use this command to upgrade that yarn version. So, but we have installed this version, it's 1.22.15. Okay, after the yarn installation, we need to install the DSpace front end. So we need to go in this directory, it's sudo opt, sorry, it's cd opt, and cd is for directory. So we will go inside this directory, and in opt we are going to install DSpace 7 front end sources in tar.gz file. So I have copied this command and paste here, then going to get the file, so it has saved with this name, and this is the size of file. Okay, so we will extract that file. So you must match the file name here. So it's dspace-7.0.tar.gz, and this is actually tar. This is actually to what we said, extract the file. So it's extracted now. And now we are going to install what we said, yarn within the DSpace directory, and it say build the front end dependency. So let us do this, and this is one of the longest process. So let me go into this directory. Yeah, before we go in this directory, we need to change the directory name. So it's basically when we extract this file, so the real name of DSpace folder is DSpace dash angular dash DSpace 7.0. So we will shorten this name by DSpace dash 7 dash angular. So let us copy this, copy, and paste here. Okay, so after this we can go within this directory and now we are in this directory. We are in opt and then DSpace folder, that is angular, DSpace 7 angular, and there we are going to build the front end dependencies for DSpace 7. So let me copy this command, it's yarn install, and then paste here. So it will take few time, and it's one of the longest process, and it's actually depend on the speed of your internet and your system. I would recommend to have a good system actually to install DSpace 7. At least you have 6 GB of RAM to install DSpace 7. But for front end, you can install uh, with the low configuration system, I mean the specification system. So you can install DSpace front end, and that front end actually connect with the backend demo site, and demo site is remotely available on internet. So we will connect that demo site with this local machine. So keep watching, and this is continue actually, and it will take few time. So let me pause my video here, and I'll come back when this process may complete. So it has done now, and within 1054 seconds, so you can see this, all the dependencies are available here, and it's actually depend on the speed of your internet. If your internet is super fast, so you can do this very quickly. Okay. And you might see some warnings and some information in between the installation, like retrying and whatever. But finally, the final thing is this message, it's done. This one. Okay, now let us connect the front end with the back end demo site. For that purpose, we need to open this file. It's common.ts. So let us open this one through the gedit. Okay, there you need to understand one thing, and that's very easy actually. If you are using Koha demo site, not your installed backend, so you need to go with this one. Say, see, understand this. Say Angular, and the Angular is false. False mean it's local within your machine, and the host would be local host. So you can replace your IP address if you are using some real IP address or some production environment. So you can write this IP address or the host address here, and then you can change this to true for user interface, and the port is 4000 for user interface. The REST API server setting, and there you need to make some changes. See, the REST API changes is true. That's mean we are using some production system, some system on remote. So, and the address of that remote is this one, api7.dspace.org. So if you are using your local host, your local install machine with backend, so you can replace this with localhost if you are using that. Else, right now we are going to connect our front end with this backend API, and the port, you can change the port here. It's a 443, and then server. If you might use your own install backend, that we will do in some other videos, so you need to write 8080 here, or whatever the port you actually use. So right now this is true, and through this website, I mean the backend website host, and we are using this local host on 4000. So let it go as it is. For to connect with the backend APIs on demo site. So just I have not changed anything. Remember, for production system, for system available on remote, so you may use true here. for local host system, those are available within your machine. You may use false here. If you connect your local host backend API, then you will change this to false, and the address here also, and the port as well. Okay, so close this, and now move the front end to the OPT directory, change the ownership. So we have already did this actually. We have created a DSpace directory within OPT. So we can actually we can add permission here to DSpace user. Although we don't have DSpace user here, locally install. If we locally install DSpace, so we will allow user, but the user may not be available here. So, but to complete the process, see, say invalid user, it's not available here. So we will go to this directory, and this is actually, these are important for this one is important for local install DSpace backend. So we will go to this directory, and then we will start yarn, the services. So we are here, and now we are going to start DSpace front end, and this may take a long time, a very long time actually. So I just yarn start, and let me pause here, and then I'll come back when it may complete, or at least it may generate some uh, uh, web address actually. So for front end, you can see it's production environment and saying the Angular TS file generate correctly at this address. Those we have actually worked, and now it's start building, and it may take few time. It will show you some warnings and some messages, so don't worry about them. And compiling actually within few times, not few time actually, lots time. So just I pause here, and I'll come back when it may complete. So I'll show you that what we did. Okay, so finally it has created the proxy, and you can see our locally installed front end is available on this web address. It's localhost and the port 4000. And this localhost, the front end UI locally installed is connected with this backend API that's actually available remotely. It's demo site, so we are connected with the demo site. So let me open my web browser and let us check. And before we go on, I'll just show you what happened actually. So you can see it's all built done successfully, and it's completed, and all the things. Let me open this. That's why it takes long time. So anyhow, and it's working. You can see. Okay, it's still working. So localhost 4000. That's actually the front end UI of DSpace 7 that connected with the backend demo site. So let me open the demo site also. That was API dspace.org. Uh, Not org, this one. This one actually. And it has server as well. So you can see this is actually available remotely, and it's one of the demo site, and you can connect your front end with this demo site, and you can work on DSpace 7 easily, effectively. So you can see this is demo site, and of course you whatever you work it might share with some others. So there we have the front end UI, and you can log in here and you can work. So the ID is available for demo site administrator. This address will work, and let us log in here, and the password would be the DSpace as written here. And this is actually the backend API, and it's remotely available. So we are connected with this backend API. So in this video, we try to install the DSpace 7 front-end UI on a local machine, and that locally installed front-end UI we have connected with the demo site, and that demo site is actually available on the remotely available on the internet. So we are connected with this, and we are logging here. So thank you very much. You're watching RAFLIMTS, and yes, for this guide you can connect me on my email address and you can ask me. But this time I'm thinking to have some charges. I don't know, because I have observed actually a number of people ask me the guides and the instructions, but they actually, I mean, I have seen a lots of people though those are actually using for commercial purpose. My purpose or whatever the channel goal is just to learn you, is just to educate you how you can configure, how you can work on a digital environment, not actually to support commercial activities. If you're working for a commercial organization and you want me to work for your commercial organization, so you can contact me separately, or you can ask this separately. So you might see the detail in the description of this video about to have this guide. So thank you very much. You're watching RAFLIMTS. This is furrukh.hussain. Keep watching. We will continue with DSpace 7 backend in the next video, and then we will try to install DSpace 7 on Windows. A number of people ask me about Windows, so we will do that. Although Windows is not recommended from my side, but I actually work on that. So thank you once again. Keep watching. Take care.